I'm wondering if you can talk about how you feel momentum, because the way you talked about it in the book, it's not just about getting unstuck. It's about just keep moving.
Interrupt me if this goes off topic, but I feel like I want to give an example from my own experience writing my email newsletter,
Love
because
it. Love it.
it was a big moment for me, but possibly not for anyone else on the planet.
I love it. No, this is what this show is about. Thank you, Oliver.
You know, I had a way of writing my email newsletter, and before that, my Guardian column, where part of the process would be I come up with sort of 5 or 6 theoretically viable ideas for it, and I would print it off. I do a lot of printing things off and going for walks. I'm old-fashioned in the centrality of a printer to my creative process, but and without really being aware of it, I would say to myself I was going to choose one idea, but what I was really doing was trying to figure out if one of these ideas was good enough for me to write the column or the newsletter about. And of course, this is like a total invitation to kind of agonized perfectionism, because you come up, you choose one and you think it through, and no, but that I don't know how to do that bit of that, so that's not a good. And you go round and round in circles and feel like a total loser and get nowhere. And eventually you choose one and get on with it, of course, because of deadlines and pressure, but it would be sort of an unpleasant experience. And through reading and writing about all this material, I realized that there was a shift I could make here, which was, to take this list of like 5 or 6 things, ideas, knowing from experience at the Guardian anyway that you can never tell which one of these ideas is going to be the one that people like, right? The one you think is brilliant will land without a trace, and the one you think is terrible will go viral. That's always the way. Take this list of 5 or 6 ideas and say, what I'm doing now is I'm going out on a little 10-minute walk, and the outcome of that 10-minute walk is that I'll decide, I'll choose one. And I don't know if I can convey the subtle shift here, but the shift was from thinking, figure out if one of these ideas is good enough for my column, to select an item from this list, right? Something which is guaranteed doable. Because of course you could just do it randomly. And so it would simply be like, by the time I come back from here, I'm going to have nominated one of these ideas. And there was something incredibly freeing about this, because it was just choosing. It wasn't trying to work out if something was good enough. It wasn't trying to reach some kind of constantly unattainable standard of perfect merit of an idea or something. And then, I think, just to answer your earlier question, you can take this, I then took this spirit into other parts of the writing process. So it would be like, okay, what I'm going to produce now is like a brain dump of all my thoughts about this topic. Well, that again is not something that I might or might not succeed in doing. I will succeed in doing that. Other people can judge whether it's a good brain dump or not, but that's not the question. And then having that on the page, the next challenge would be to take the bits of it that jumped out at me and find a structure. And, on and on you go through these steps, and it's my particular creative process, and it doesn't need to be anybody else's. But the spirit of it is just that spirit of like, okay, I'm just selecting an outcome for the next thing of a kind that is by definition attainable, right? It's just like choosing the structure, choosing the introduction. And I swear it's as good or better than it would be if I spent 3 more days agonizing over whether I had exactly pulled off the perfect intro or not.